The Rinnegan is the mightiest of the three main dojutsus, but it's also the rarest of them, since we only have like 3 characters who did awake it in a normal way, if you wanna say it like that. And even though we didn't have that many characters who had the Rinnegan, they showed clearly why it is the strongest. The whole Pain arc showed it, Madara showed it clearly, and even Sasuke was showing us how strong he became after obtaining the Rinnegan. But the question is now, how do you get the Rinnegan, and what is every possible way to get it or awaken it? And that's what I wanna talk about in this video. Because there are some possible ways that some of you might not have in your mind, which are very interesting points I wanna talk about. Let's start with the likely origin of the Rinnegan, the chakra fruit. We saw it with Kaguya, who got the Rinne Sharingan after she ate the chakra fruit, and it's most likely that other OTSUTSUKIs who had the Rinnegan got it also through eating a chakra fruit, since that's their main way to evolve with new powers. And we can consider the Rinne Sharingan a Rinnegan, since it's the predecessor of the Rinnegan, and it was said that the Mugen Tsukuyomi, the Infinite Tsukuyomi, can only be countered by the Rinnegan. So a Rinnegan jutsu can only be countered by a Rinnegan, so I guess we can somehow say that the Rinne Sharingan also counts as a Rinnegan. The second point is to absorb Otsutsuki powers. I just called it like that because it's a bit weird. For example, we have Momoshiki, who absorbed Kinshiki and got his new form because of that, where he has awakened a new Rinnegan on his forehead. Also his Rinnegans became yellow and he could change between the yellow and the red Rinnegans. But then we also had Urashiki, who absorbed his own Rinnegans to obtain such a new form like Momoshiki, where he had the third eye on his forehead, which also was the yellow, the golden Rinnegan. So you probably don't need to absorb another Otsutsuki, but the power of an Otsutsuki should be enough for that. Which makes sense, since that's the same way how the chakra fruit grows, when the Jubi, the Ten-Tails, eats an Otsutsuki. So it fits great. Then we get to the third point, and it's to inherit the genes for the Rinnegan, if you wanna say it like that. We had it with Hagoromo, the Sage of Six Paths, who was the son of Kaguya, who inherited the Rinnegan genes from Kaguya's Rinne Sharingan. Hamura got the Byakugan genes from Kaguya, whereas Hagoromo got the Sharingan and Rinnegan genes. Now we only have to wait if Zarada also inherited some Rinnegan genes or something like that, since we never saw it with humans. We never had a human who got the Rinnegan because one of his predecessors had a Rinnegan. But that could be the first time something like that could happen in the future. But that's still something we have to wait some years for. But yeah, we have the point with Hagoromo, who inherited the Rinnegan, or the potential to awaken the Rinnegan from Kaguya. And that's where we get to the fourth point, and it's to obtain Hagoromo's chakra, or Indra's and Ashura's chakra, which is likely the same as Hagoromo's chakra since they are his sons, and that with the combination of the Mangekyo Sharingan. That's the main way to awaken the Rinnegan, that's why Hagoromo got it. He himself is Hagoromo, so he has Hagoromo's chakra, and as soon as he awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan, it evolved instantly into a Rinnegan. Then we had Madara, who was the reincarnation of Indra, who implanted a bit of Hashirama, who was the reincarnation of Ashura, inside of himself, and after a lot of years, I don't know how much time it was, likely 50 years or something, I don't really know, but it was a very long time, when Madara was in his deathbed, he has awakened the Rinnegan. And the same thing was somehow with Sasuke, but much more directly. Because he first of all got Hashirama cells, or Hashirama chakra, from Kabuto, as he was trying to revive Sasuke. So he got Ashura's chakra pumped within him, but he also got chakra from Hagoromo himself, which boosted it instantly. So that's likely the reason why he got the Rinnegan instantly, because he didn't need to evolve the chakra into the Rinnegan or something, or the chakra didn't need to fuse into Hagoromo chakra, or whatever the process is behind it, Indra and Ashura chakra. It took a lot of time for Madara because he just took that little piece of Hashirama, and it was like 99% Indra, 1% Ashura, and that needed to evolve into one, which took a lot of time. At least that's how I explain it to myself. And since Sasuke got a lot of Hashirama chakra plus the chakra of Hagoromo himself, that's what made it instantly. The fifth point is an easy point, it's just the implantation of the Rinnegan. We've got it with Obito. He implanted the Rinnegan himself after getting it from the corpse of Nagato. But you need to have a really strong body, really strong chakra, because even Obito himself, who had Hashirama cells within him, wasn't able to implant both Rinnegans into him. That one Rinnegan was so hard for him to control that he would likely die if he implanted a second one also into him. So you require a really strong body, like an Uzumaki body. That's why Nagato got the Rinnegans from Madara, or it will be a really hard time to implant it into yourself. Now we get to the interesting points. The sixth point is to recreate the Rinnegan. And let's take Orochimaru as an example for that. Since he already was able to recreate a Sharingan. It was stated in the Gaara Hiden novel that Orochimaru took experiments on recreating the Sharingan, which wasn't perfected at the time, because that Sharingan he recreated made a lot of problems for the person he implanted it into, but he was very close to recreate it perfectly. And that's at the time period of the last, or even before that. So we have about 10 years in between of that, and I'm pretty sure Orochimaru could already recreate the Sharingan perfectly by now. And since it seems to be possible with the Sharingan, I don't see why it shouldn't be possible with the Rinnegan. I mean, yeah, the Rinnegan is way stronger, it needs likely more perfection, more work behind it, since it has such a great amount of chakra and such a great amount of power. But if one is possible, the other should also be possible. It's nothing we had, but it's a possibility. The seventh point and the second to last point is to clone someone who has the Rinnegan. Cloning isn't something impossible in Naruto, or better said in Boruto, since we've got it with Shin, who was also an experiment of Orochimaru, so it comes back to him again. And Shin made a lot of clones of himself by sacrificing his teeth, and every single one of the clones also had the Mangekyo Sharingan. So it wasn't just able to clone the Sharingan with a whole new body, but also the potential to awaken it into a Mangekyo Sharingan. So if you had someone who had a Rinnegan, like Sasuke, and you would make clones of him, you probably could have multiple more Rinnegans, which is a really interesting point, as I think. Then we get to the final point, and that's the point where I wanna leave a little spoiler warning, since this will be Boruto manga stuff, so things that we still haven't in the anime, and it's just manga only right now. So if you don't wanna be spoiled by that, I would recommend you to leave the video, but thank you for watching it till this point, I really appreciate it. But yeah, to get to this point, you probably can inherit the dojutsu from an OTSUTSUKI by the karma. We have seen it with Kawaki, who has the same dojutsu as Ishiki had. But the question here is it only because of the karma, or is it because Amado made something with his body? But either way, it has something to do with the karma. And so we can expect to see the Rinnegan on Boruto in the future, the red Rinnegan of Momoshiki. Since Kawaki got as much Ishiki DNA in him as Boruto got Momoshiki's DNA. So it's very possible for him to awaken or use the Rinnegan in the future. And that's just another point to get it, or another possibility to get it. And yeah, that's it with this video. The first 5 points were points how you get the Rinnegan, and the last 3 points are just possibilities that seem plausible enough to happen, or maybe they won't happen. I don't think we will see Orochimaru in the future who recreate the Rinnegan, but it's a possibility that doesn't seem impossible or something. That's just stuff I wanted to talk about. I think it's interesting. I'm sorry if my English wasn't that great, I hope everything was understandable enough. But yeah, thank you all for watching this video to this point. I really appreciate it. Leave a like if you liked this video, a dislike if you didn't like it. Subscribe to this channel if you wanna see more Naruto or anime content in general. And thank you so much for watching to this point. Have a great time, take care of yourself, and bye.